Hi everyone, welcome to Triple E 137. This is problem number 3 of week 7. This is just a continuation of problem number 2, the random telegraph process. So we have already solved the mean function and the autocorrelation. If you could recall, the mean function is equal to 0 and uh, the autocorrelation is equal to e raised to negative 2 alpha tau, right? So let me just reread the problem. Consider a random process xt that assumes the values positive 1 or negative 1. Suppose that x of 0, positive 1, or x of 0 is minus 1 with equal probability. And suppose that x of t changes polarity with each occurrence of an event in a Poisson process of rate alpha. Our questions now are, is the process x of t wide-set stationary? So we have already discussed stationarity from our previous problems, and we just apply it here. For us to have a wide-set stationary process, recall that our random process must satisfy stationarity up to the second order only. That is wide-set stationary. Or in other words, the expectation of x of t is equal to some constant k. In other words, it is not a function of time. It's just constant across time. And we have here the autocorrelation of uh, of the random process is equal to is a function of the time difference only. So we've discussed that from the previous problem. And obviously, since we have here a constant and we have here uh, a function of the time difference only, this is true. The random process or the random telegraph process is wide-set stationary. But how about stationary in the strict sense? So what does it mean when we have a random process that is stationary in the strict sense? So what this means is when we have some random process, if we have stationary up to order 2 only, we only get 2 time instance, right? Okay. T sub 1 and T sub 2. Okay. And when we get the joint distribution of that, okay, it must be similar or it must not change across time, right? When we get the joint distribution of two random variables. Strict sense stationary follows stationarity up to any order. So when we take another time instance here, T sub 3, we now have joint distribution of 3 random variables. And that joint distribution must not change across any value of time. You get what I mean here? So that is a harder requirement for us to follow. So for us to answer, okay, stationary up to let's say T sub k, okay, up to order k for any k. That means for any time, for any order, it must be stationary. So that is a harder requirement, strict sense stationary. Okay? And for us to have that, we should have probability x of t1 is equal to a1, x of t2 equal to a sub 2, x of t sub k equal to a sub k. This must be equal to probability x of t1 for some time shift tau. Okay, that means it is stationary. Okay, if you just shift it by time, it must not change. The joint probability distribution must not change. So just imagine when we sweep this 4 or all of the joint distribution here, the 4 random variables here, when we shift it by some time difference tau, the joint distribution of that will not change. So mathematically, this is equal to, okay, x of t2 plus tau is equal to a sub 2. X of tk plus tau is equal to a sub k. So that means this must be equal. And for us to obtain these probabilities, so this is just more rigorous math, but I hope that you will follow. The property of a Poisson process, we will discuss this in the next lecture, is that it is independent. That means that when whatever happens in the past, it is independent of what will happen in the present. Okay? Another term here is we have a memorylessness random process, because whatever will happen at that time instant, it is independent of what happened in the past. Okay? And if we have that property, that very important independence property of the Poisson process, therefore, this probability will be equal to probability x of t1 is equal to a1, x of t1 is equal to a1 times probability x of t2 is equal to a sub 2 given x of t1 is equal to a sub 1. Okay, dot. So we just multiply all of that until we arrive at probability of x of tk is equal to a sub k, given that probability of x of tk minus 1 is equal to a sub k minus 1. Okay, that must be equal to probability of x of t1 plus tau is equal to a sub 1 times probability of x of t2 plus tau is equal to a sub 2 given x of t1 plus tau. So you get the point. Dot probability x of tk plus tau is equal to ak given x of tk minus 1 is equal to ak minus 1 plus tau. Okay. So I hope that you will follow me that this one and this one, we already know this. This is, once again, this is our prior probabilities. Because and again, this has a similar manner with our probability of initial conditions. So when we have, this is the probability that the initial condition is some value a sub 1, right? And again, that is equal to our prior probabilities. We just from how we stated the problem, this has equal probabilities. So we already know this to be 1/2. Okay? Our prior probabilities have equal probabilities. So the first term is equal. How about the second term? This is our transition probabilities. And we have already proven, or we have already solved the transition probabilities here. Okay? So, this one and this one, we have an expression here, right? Those transition probabilities is also the same. And this is also transition probabilities. In other words, every term here, no matter how many k we obtain or we acquire, will have the same random variable, or will have the same joint distribution okay, for any value of k. And that just means that this random telegraph signal satisfies stationarity in the strict sense. And this just happens, it's because of the very important property of independence. Because we are now multiplying prior probabilities and transition probabilities in this case. Okay? So if we satisfy that, then we can say that we have a random process that is stationary in the strict sense. Okay? So I hope that you follow this discussion, and thank you for listening. See you on the next problem.